the exhibition is to coincide with the Human Rights Festival in Belfast this week. We call In Their Footsteps, and it's shoes contributed by families who were affected by the conflict. Each pair of shoes represents a family member who was lost their lives through the Troubles. These shoes continue to grow. Of over 150 at the moment, and it continues to grow. Every pair of shoes has a different story. Every pair of shoes has a personal story, and it's bringing to light each person who contributes to our exhibition. It's a personal issue, and it brings that person to show other people what they're going through and the loss of a family member.
The shoes is part of a symbolism about a journey. I mean, some people, like our family, the McGurk's Bar families, we started our journey 44 years ago in December 1971. Other families have come on board more recently. There are people, but it's anybody, any family who have either been murdered or injured as part of the conflict are entitled to come forward and then to donate their shoes, and then we can take it to various places in terms of putting it out in terms of an exhibition to show in a symbolic but then in a practical way the loss of people who have been murdered or injured during the conflict. So we've been to Dublin, we've been to Derry, we've been to Belfast once before, and we brought them over to Downing Street in London. So the shoes are a symbolic embodiment of the journey. And many families want different things. I mean, some people want court cases, some people want investigations, some people want the Stormont House Agreement implemented, some people want just compensation, some people... But the thing that unites us all in this project is it's about truth. It's about justice and acknowledgement. So that's the thing that unites us. So if you look around, there's no personal banners, there's no symbolism, so we're not trying to attach it to any one group, because some of the shoes have been donated by families who have never been involved in any other campaign or any other group. So there's a massive geographical area. I mean, there's families here from Belfast, from the McGurk's Bar, from the Ballymurphy families. There's families from Derry who were involved in the Bloody Sunday families. There's families from Dublin who were involved in the Dublin Monaghan bombings of 1974. There's ones from Dundalk. So there's a whole broad range, both geographically and, may I say, politically, because it's open to every family. It doesn't matter whether your relative was murdered as a result of IRA activity or UVF activity or British Army activity. All those families, in my opinion, have a right to come and to put their shoes here as part of the project.
I think it has more impact when you actually see that there should be people wearing these shoes, but they've gone, and it's a way for their families maybe to have something that they can look at, see and carry on from that.
But when we come together in exhibitions like this, to me it sends a really important statement to the British government, to the Irish government and to the politicians here that we need to resolve this outstanding issue of what they call the legacy or dealing with our past.
It's the pair of shoes. It's just been given forward to the families for Terry McCafferty. He was shot in 1974. Terry was married, 3 wee girls. Every pair of shoes has a story.
My father, Patrick McVeigh, was shot dead one night about midnight. Opened fire on my father and the few men he was talking to. My father died, the other men were injured. Really from them we've been trying to get truth and justice, obviously. Why did they shoot my father dead and shoot these other men? It's been traumatic for us all down the years. Our family were badly affected by the death of my father. There were 6 children, I was the oldest. My youngest sister was only 8. And the family kind of broke up then because some of my brothers went to work in Germany. They found it impossible to work here. And it had a profound effect. And going down the road now is slightly traumatic as well. It's an emotional time.
Well, my grandfather, this is Philip Gary, he was 73 years of age, but he was murdered along with 14 other men, women and children in a bar called McGurk's in North Belfast, in North Queen Street. And at the time of the bombing, we knew right away, our grandfather had been murdered, but within 12 hours, he was being called an IRA person, he was being called an IRA bomber, he was being called a terrorist. So therefore that started our family on a journey, and the journey is for the truth to be told. That here is Philip Gary. He was 73 years of age. At the end of his life, he was a lollipop patrol person. He wasn't a bomber. He wasn't a terrorist. He just went out for a pint of Guinness on the 4th of December 1971, and along with 14 other innocent men, women and children, he didn't come home.
Our family have lost two members in the conflict. In 1971, my father was murdered. He was shot 14 times, just yards away from his brother's house, and also a 15-year-old brother who was murdered by the IRA in 1973. So, like I say, the Troubles found our door twice. We didn't go looking for trouble, it came to our door with the loss of our father and our brother. It's always important to raise awareness of what happened. We need to keep their names alive. There's over 3,500 people lost their lives, but there's also maybe 150,000 who are affected and injured through the Troubles, all different ranges of ailments. It can raise the issues around their family members, but at the same time it can be comfort to them as well. You can see other people who have contributed, and there's a story behind every one of them, and it's comforting to know that other people are going through the same thing, and other people understand exactly the hurt, and the hurt's the same no matter who murdered your loved one. The hurt's exactly the same, and that's comforting in a way for people who come visit the exhibition and contribute to all that as well.
I think it's good that the ordinary person can come in and look at this exhibition and have a better understanding of how many people have died needlessly, victims, innocent people, and just to see this, the amount of people, and it's been added to probably nearly every day, every week, as people get to know about it from every section of the community. There's nobody barred from putting a pair of shoes and a note here to tell the story of their loved one who has passed away. And it probably helps the families as well, that they know their loved ones haven't been forgotten. And we just hope that now this is probably the last chance to see justice done, but we're still hopeful that this might happen. I think the government need to push on to try and attain justice for these people, and that's the help they can get, and that's what's needed.
At the moment there's not enough set up, and dealing with the legacy of past, that in itself, you can see where the pecking order was, but this is one of the issues that still haven't sorted out. That goes on. There's a fight at every level trying to get disclosure. Their needs aren't addressed at all, I think.
We have been through various attempts, and lately we have, right up until no later than 2 or 3 weeks ago, we thought as families that we were making progress with the political parties and the two governments in what became known as the Stormont House agreement to deal with legacy. So that is the barrier that needs to be crossed, because the campaign, the families are going to carry on, but at some time we need to resolve this issue.
This exhibition is owned by no one. There's some organisers like ourselves, Pafanucan Centre and McGurk's families, but it's owned by no one, and anybody, no matter how their loved one was murdered, contribute a pair of shoes. Just contact ourselves, or just come up along, as you see along the wall, a pair of shoes and a photo with a wee bit of a story of how their loved one was murdered and when and the dates. That's all they have to do, and it's open to everyone.